Good morning, Pomfret. Your first chapel speaker rode a sheep at a rodeo. Your second chapel speaker used to live in Rochester, New York. Your third chapel speaker's time at Pomfret has been short, but he's managed to make a lot of memories. And your fourth chapel speaker is growing up in the house that her mom grew up in. Your chapel speakers of the day are Joe Cantelmo, Ethan Lim, Jack Muse, and Tricia Rueckert. Enjoy.
Good morning, Pomfret. My name is Joe Cantelmo, and I'm a three-year senior here on the Hilltop. I've been playing hockey for longer than I can remember. I've worked hard and made many sacrifices to continue my growth, one being moving across the country at 16 years old. I live for practices, games, and camaraderie. I love playing hockey. It's my passion. It's who I am. In my junior year, the unthinkable happened. I had two major injuries, one right after the other. The first in a game that required surgery and 6 weeks of recovery. The second, during practice, that required a cast and 4+ weeks of recovery. I had not been seriously injured since kindergarten when I broke my leg, but that's another story for another time. The mental pain caused by these injuries and the temporary loss of playing hockey was far more devastating than the injuries themselves. I cannot practice, I cannot play in games, I was sidelined. Hockey is my sense of identity. It helps me cope with stress and brings me joy when I work to get stronger and better. I lost my internal and external sense of identity as an athlete and a team member. I questioned who I was. I've been playing hockey since I was 5 years old. It was all I knew. I asked myself what I would do with all my free time. How do I deal with a new place on the team? With my new place on the team. All I could think about was falling behind. I felt myself getting weak and slow. I began to get angry and angrier as I watched others do what I could no longer do. Two of my biggest fans are my parents. If it wasn't for them, I do not think I could have gotten through this time in my life. They supported me as I mourned my injuries. Most importantly, they were empathetic. They helped me cope with my injuries, allowed me to be sad, and let me know that I was loved. When it was time to deal with my situation, they promptly assisted me in ending my pity party. With my determination and their guidance, I was able to set realistic goals, maintain a positive attitude, focus on healing, and get back on the ice. My injuries, although temporarily, were painfully disruptive and an uncontrollable interruption of my junior year. The rehab process and emotional pain that accompanied these injuries were challenging. The rehab part was the slowest and was by far the most painful. I clearly remember the practice the night before my first game back after my collarbone surgery. I swear Coach Goethals was trying to break my other collarbone. My first practice back, we did lots of intense contact drills. Hitting drills, battling for pucks, box outs were some of the drills we did for my first practice back. Although I was nervous about how my collarbone would feel, the metal plate in my shoulder did work, and it worked well. Thanks to Coach Goethals, I was much more confident with my collarbone injury, and I was able to jump on the ice and play without concern of injuring myself again. I would like to do some thank yous. I would like to thank my parents for sending me to Pomfret and paying for it. I would like to thank my advisor, Miss Min, for helping me through everything these past 3 years. And lastly, I would like to thank Coach Goethals for helping me grow, both as a player and as a person these past 3 years. Thank you, Pomfret.
Good morning, Pomfret. My name is Ethan Lim. I'm a first-year student here on the Hilltop. Don't stress about the little things. Live life to the fullest, and you only live once. We hear all of these cliche sayings being loosely thrown around by people who try and seem deep, and eventually, these words have become obsolete and meaningless. We forget the true gravity of these words and how much they actually mean in the grand scheme of things. We grow up thinking we have all the time in the world, our whole lives ahead of us, to experience the world. But do we, as a society, truly chase that in life? We constantly hear over the course of our childhood to do well in school, go to a good college, and get a good job that pays well and have a family and live in the suburbs and just drive hatchbacks. But is that truly what we should chase? One October night, I asked my neighbors John Bouvier, Sean Zhu, and HB Morgan Henna what they would do if they had 24 hours to live. When I asked the question, Sean quickly responded that he would punch every politician in the face. Bouv wants to drive a Ferrari F12 512 Testarossa on the roads of Monaco, and Morg just wanted to take Rihanna out on a date. I asked this question because I'm always curious to hear people's answers. Every time I ask someone, I realize how many different perspectives there are in life. Growing up with the internet and social media, we witness the perfect lives of celebrities, and you take a 2-second glance, like the post, and scroll up to the next, numbing us to the reality that anyone can go to these places and experience what they experience. This reality has pressured kids into wanting more and growing up faster and have more and more freedom. If there was one thing I could tell my younger self, I'd tell him to relax. Be grateful. Be grateful for what you have now, and don't worry about something as inevitable as the future. It won't come any faster if you keep wanting it, and soon enough, you'll be there and wonder what happened and where the time went. Looking back, I realized that always thinking about the future and focusing on things you don't have, and want just leads to regret in the future. And if you don't remain in the present and being grateful for what you have now, life will pass you by in the blink of an eye. Letting slight problems tear you down and get in your head will just lead to more and more stress. Worrying about what others think about you or trying to impress other people and not being yourself will just lead to internal confusion within yourself. Whether it be stressing about grades and trying to keep up fake facades, all that matters is how you view yourself internally and control what you should be grateful for which is here and now. Life is beautiful, life is precious, and tomorrow is never guaranteed. I've always wanted to just skip to the hopeful future of living out the rest of my days surfing in Hawaii. Little did I know how much I should enjoy the journey. I'd like to thank all the teachers at Pomfret in the short time of being there to push me to become a better student and a better man. My prefects, Morgan and Sean, for always being there and helping me with whatever I need. Pablo for supporting me and being there when I needed him. And lastly, thank you to the boys for the ride.
Good morning, Pomfret. My name's Jack Muse. I'm a postgraduate senior here in the Hilltop. When I found out that I'd be giving a speech to you all in the fall, I began to think about all of the things I could talk about, but I came to the conclusion that it would only be fitting for me to talk about my time here at Pomfret. These past 2.5 months were not what I pictured it to be, but I will say that I confidently feel that all of us made the most of our situation. Learning how to battle rap, skating every day with the guys, and attempting to start up a company with Kellen are a few of the memories that I'm very grateful for and that come to mind. There was many more memories and things I was looking forward to this year, whether it was just making more memories in the dorms, in the bricks this winter, or the hockey season that me and my teammates worked so hard for in the fall. I definitely feel like there was a few things that got ripped from us this year, but I'm still very thankful to be a part of this community. Although I can't say that I was too pleased and I agreed with the decision to not come back in the fall, I would like to take this time to thank all my teachers, coaches, teammates, counselors, and advisors for attempting to make this year as normal as possible for me, and I'm very thankful for all of you. I'd like to thank my mom and my dad for all their sacrifice. I love you both, and I know this wasn't easy for you guys, and I'll be forever thankful for this opportunity. Last but not least, I would like to thank the McMahons for all their guided support during my time here at Pomfret and opening me up to their home, and especially Quinn, who helped me and my family out so much during the admissions process. Without you guys, I can't say that I would have been sold on in school, and I'm very thankful that you convinced me that this was the right spot for me. I hope to see you all in the spring, and I hope to make some more memories with you guys. Thank you.
Happiness is something we have control over. My cousin Nathan was diagnosed with cerebral palsy, meaning he has been restricted to a wheelchair his whole life, not having the ability to walk and complete daily actions like we all do. He is still the happiest person I know. When he is brought into a room, the space lights up from his warm laughter and wide smile. Nathan talks to anyone and everyone without any hesitation and leaves everyone with a smile on their face by the end of a conversation. He gets joy from watching his older brother play sports, playing with dogs, and hearing what all the cousins' favorite songs are, just so he can play them for us, especially playing his favorite song, Truth Hurts by Lizzo. During my 14 years of knowing Nathan, I could count on my hands the number of times I've seen him upset. It takes a lot of effort to get him upset, but very little to make him laugh. I realize Nathan is living life right. He appreciates everything in his life which brings him happiness. He recognizes the good in everyone in the laughter of a bad situation. Knowing Nathan allows me to know what true happiness is. We tend to get frustrated when things don't go our way or over little things that are not worth getting mad over in the end. It is easy to take what we have for granted, but if we were to appreciate a few things every day, it could shed some light on our lives. Gratitude allows you to embrace what you have and have reasoning to why someone or something is so unique to you, because happiness simply comes from gratitude. There is no daily reminder in our phones to be grateful for things in our lives, appreciating our able bodies, being thankful for opportunities given to us. Through the school, we've been given strong academics, memories with our friends, and opportunities to grow. Enjoy your opportunities. Or for the people that show you the greatest sense of love and support. We are reminded to be grateful when we are deprived of something or someone who brings us joy. When we recognize there are many other people who are less fortunate than we are. There is no such thing as a life that is better than yours. Part of my message to you today is to work hard to be ever grateful for the memories you make every day. For your friends who stick by your side through the good and bad times and even bring you happiness when they feel down. For your mental and physical strength, because you are stronger than any anxious thought and negative comment that floods your mind. You are way stronger than you think. It is difficult to do at times, but one path to happiness is to learn how to look for the bright side of even a very dark day. Remembering that you have the power to control your happiness by acknowledging that some of the smallest things in your life can bring you joy if you just look for them. Thank you.